So I happen to have one couple here that I'd like to go ahead and come on up now. Glen and Katia, they actually reached out to me at one point and said that they had some friends that wanted to join. And she just happened to mention, oh, by the by, I was able to quit my, what did you call it? Your life sucking,
soul
crushing
6-figure corporate job. Yeah. I walked away from $115,000 a year salary.
Who wants to walk away from $100,000 a year plus salary? Give them a hand. That's huge.
Okay, so you guys go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. That you can look here on the screen if you need some help from the.
Steal this one for a second.
All right, how you guys doing today? I'm Glen Delgado. I'm a Dallas Police Officer. Thank you.
It's okay. You only ran half your plate so far.
Yeah. I was also in the military. I got out as a major.
All right.
Yeah. And so basically, I first heard of lifestyles when in a patrol car. Basically, DPD's pension system went missing was $2 billion and with a B. And so I said, hey, I'm not gonna sit here in this sinking ship, and I'm gonna figure somehow how to do, what to do. And so I heard of lifestyles, Dale Walmsley on the radio, and I said, I'm gonna do it.
How long did it take you to drag me to the seminar?
Yeah, I think hers doesn't work. Just repeat. Give her that one.
Oh,
let me see that one.
So I have a master's degree in statistics and market research, and I'm very skeptical of all things that sound too good to be true. It took Glenn forever to convince me to go to the seminar. I was like, Glenn, it's a...
Has anybody else been drugged here tonight from a friend? You're like, is this a nudist colony or a swingers club? It is not.
It sounded like
Sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah, she was very skeptical of the name. She's like, lifestyles. Anyways, but
David Fisher actually taught our seminar, and
that's
when
me.
He looked a little bit different about 5 years ago.
Oh, you saw me with the blonde hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he started going through the numbers, then the light bulb went off. He started talking my language. So a lot of people talk about Dave Ramsey. We were Dave Ramsey people. Mm-hmm. We tried to pay off our first house, maxed out 401k, and hope to die before retirement ran out.
I mean, you had good incomes. You had 2 incomes coming in. You're trying to live that lifestyle that everybody teaches you, but you wanted more.
I think after the pension fiasco, that was.
You realize you can't count on others. You got to count on yourself.
That was probably your big scare.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So on this slide here, you actually started in 2017 with the mindset of preferred multifamily.
Yes, we're the family that did everything backwards and still made it work.
Yeah, basically, I had come off a military tour back in 2011, 2012. Had some money saved up and wanted to go in and do the preferred investments first. Did it backwards.
So when they say preferred investments, that means they say, we don't want to do anything. We just want to put money in apartment deals, get checks in the mail. And then later they decide to do some single family.
We wanted to be like John Pryor, the passives.
Okay.
I still had my job. We're still multifamily investors.
Right.
2020 is when I got furloughed from my plum job. And I realized they lied when I said we're all family here.
Yeah. But I would say the aha moment that I had basically was when we met with Mike Spots. Okay. And we were actually looking to go preferred to be lead investors. Oh. And got a humbling experience right there. We didn't have the cash flow. And so we went ahead and decided to go single family.
Okay.
But my job loss helped us withdraw the 401k that many of us hang so tightly to, because we're taught that this is your only chance to not work. But with the CARE Act, we were able to avoid the 10% penalty, right. And that was our seed money for single family.
Okay.
So you took lemons and made lemonade, just took advantage of those things, and those were your aha moments. A lot of times that's similar to my story, not in those details, but I am the classic letting a good life get in the way of a great life type of person. And so if you're living a good life out there and you think everything's okay with that, it's not. It can be so much greater when you're hanging around people that know how to make it happen fast and live the lifestyle.
Yeah, it's very powerful what Lori just said. You can be a doctor, you can be an engineer, you can be making 6 figures, but if you're working 60, 70 hours a week, is that really what we're born to do? So that's very powerful.
Or if you're waiting until 65
Yeah, I
or
gotta wait till
70
May,
to retire.
yeah.
Why
Yep.
do that?
Why not do it at 35?
During my furlough, I started. I signed up. Well, we were of course with lifestyles, but I also signed up for wholesalers and spent most of the time just researching properties. We already had the education. Our first property was actually in such a bad condition that InvestMart, High Pole, wherever you are, would not lend on it.
So it was a little bit of a fixer-upper.
It was a little bit of a fixer-upper, yes. Only everything needed to, but it was $100,000, and
in the Metroplex
I
in
get
2020. So that's the thing. Our last presenters, they showed us really good typical models, and they went where it made sense for them. With Katia and Glen, they stayed location, and they paid a little bit more for it, but they've also got that astounding appreciation and everything on it too. So they were very, very proactive. They're just go-getters. And so if you would explain a little bit about your latest acquisition, which is up in Denton. So this is actually a little bit farther out of your area.
Denton is intentional because it's coming up. It's growing very fast. So we want to be where that growth is and appreciation is. This one fell in our lap. Friends' clients backed out and asked us if we wanted it. So this is also a fixer-upper. So this one is under rehab right now.
Okay.
Glen knows probably more about it.
Essentially, yeah. I basically what I do is I work a lot more with more hands-on. So I'm working with the contractors, kind of networking and getting all these people in place to do what it is that we have to do. This property right here is on a 1/4 acre of a lot, basically right next to the UNT sports complex. And it was definitely something that we wanted to do because they also allow for ADUs, which is additional dwelling unit.
This property was also attractive because it had 2 living rooms, but it was a 2-bedroom house. It's an older house, so it had potential to be converted to a 4-bedroom. Okay. For us, what worked is conversions as for the prior couple as well. So here are the numbers.
Yeah, so see, your numbers are significantly higher with an appraised after fixed up value of 300. But you went in very low at 210.
Yes, we went in low. The rehab is probably a little bit more, but you see, with a 4-bedroom house, we'll be able to get $2,300 in rent, and it's right by UNT. And this
but you're making a 74% return.
Correct.
And that's who would be okay with that? So it's a little bit different model than what I normally teach, a little bit higher out of pocket, but everybody in here has a different map. What's the right map for you? And we can work that out for you, whether it's single family, multifamily, but that's what mentors do. And there's a little more out of pocket, but there's like big equity on this one.
And what we do is, it doesn't matter how big the house is, all right? So it matters how many rooms you have. Or if you have more rooms, you have to get more money.
Okay.
So this is actually this is our first property that we dove in. Lori says brave. I say not very smart, maybe, but it worked out. This is the property that cash flows about $800 a month now.
Yeah, that's correct.
So what I wanted to, when you see this picture here and you're brand new, that scares you. Oh my God, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. You don't need to.
You don't need to.
You write a check. Who can write a check? That's how you be a real estate investor. They wrote a check to somebody else to do the work.
So you'll see here, this is how they do their rehabs. They do very, very big rehabs. And that's the reason why on their portfolio here, they've got a lot in the equity capture column. And again, similar to our last presenters here, they've got tons of equity, and you started doing the single family in 2020.
In a year and a half, we bought and rehabbed 6 properties.
6.
Give him a hand, not bad. And remember, guys, I'm going to teach you, this is all tax-free income. Who'd like to make an extra 50 grand a year tax-free? That's peeing your pants excited. Give him a hand. That's huge.
Yeah, that's like another job right there.
Yeah.
Coming in the door, another paycheck. All right, so how has Lifestyles changed your life?
So I walked away from my corporate job.
And what was that called? Soul sucking?
Soul crushing.
Crushing. I keep wanting your job to just suck. Pardon my French.
Yeah. It was a little sucky. So I do work. I work in a startup in a DI area, which I love. I don't make nearly as much money, but I have that luxury. We have more time to spend with the family. We have a 7-year-old. Glen is also an awesome furniture upholsterer. If you,
yeah. So basically, frees up time. Maybe able to do certain things I like to do on the side, like she said.
and gardener.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, he's a cop. He's a gardener. We know what that means. 420.
We might.
Hey, young guy, stop laughing there, okay?
But you're the one who can get a backhoe, right?
What's that?
You're the one who can get a backhoe.
There you go. Yes. Yeah.
For a different reason. All right. So what's next in your journey?
So keep going, right? The multifamily allows that big payoff when they sell and there's no work. Plus the single family allows for monthly income, which is fantastic. Retired Glen in 5.5 years from DPD.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
With a, $1,200 pension probably by that time. Travel, we like camping.
Cool.
We try to give back to the community. I'm on a nonprofit board, Right of Futures for Women and Children, and we donate to them. And
That's awesome.
Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so essentially, I'm actually a boxing coach, and so I love giving back to the community. So I work with kids in different areas in the city of Dallas, and so that's kind of what I like to do.
Cool.
And
He
that's the
mentors
whole thing about real estate investing. A lot of people say, I don't necessarily want to retire. What would I do with myself with retirement? Let's change that around. It's just freedom to do what you want and live the best lifestyle. And that's exactly, there's not going to be any grass growing under your feet, retirement or no retirement. You guys are always going to stay involved. And that's good that you've got those choices.
And with every property, we say this is the last single family that we're getting.
Never.
But they're addictive, right?
They're super addictive.
See, I'm a crack dealer. You're going to come here. I'm going to ruin your career, and you're all going to end up in rehab like them.
Before we get to the questions, though, I would like to ask you, for these people out here watching for the first time, what advice would you give them?
If I go ahead and I'm actually going to read something real quick. So this is from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 12. It says, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it."
So that's a great segue. I didn't know he was going to say it. I was just going to say education.
Okay.
So had we not gone through the classes with lifestyles, we would not have touched it. That you saw the pictures. It was freaking terrifying going to that house. And when we first saw it, Glen's amazing because he has a vision. He can look at the most dilapidated thing. It's like, yeah, we can do it. So we did it.
And your big aha moment was in the seminar because you were skeptical.
Numbers, yes.
The numbers won her over. You understand that? Who's my numbers people? That a lot of us are. The numbers tell the story. Once you take your emotions out of this and you treat it like a business and you can replicate that, that's what will occur.
Basically, the first thing I said, it took me almost like 5, almost 6, almost half a year to get her to come to Lifestyles. And I said,
kicking and screaming.
Yeah, I said, what do you have to lose? I said, just come check it out. It's a free seminar. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, just tell me. But I told her, you're not going to tell me you don't like it. So.
Well, yeah, I know what happened. He sent her to lifestyles.com, not lifestylesunlimited.com. They mean two different things.
That's it.
All right. Cool. Yeah, let's get a couple questions. Yeah, anybody in the room? One right there. Let me.
I can speak loud. It seems
just repeat it.
Rehab is a super common theme so far. Does anyone buy properties that are turnkey, or is everything value added?
We actually had one property that was pretty much turnkey.
Straight off MLS.
Yeah.
So because there's people from all across America listening, the question in the audience was, hey, does anybody just do straight turnkey? When we do case studies, we bring up all different types. We have people that do brand new builds with renters already in it. So it's different every month when we do this. It's just different students have different styles. So yes, we do turnkeys. We do it both ways.
Yeah, that was a good question.
We got one property straight off MLS. painted it and put a new backsplash and rented it. Like it was over a weekend, $5,000 tops, rehab, and it's cash flowing close to $500 a month.
There you go. Any other questions in the room? One more? No? All right, let's take, do you have online ones? Okay, Amber's going to ask one.
Yeah, I got two questions. Phil was asking if you're solely using the Lifestyles roadmap or if you've brought some of your own flavor into it as well.
We're a little bit more creative than your garden variety life.
Remember, they grow weed.
No, it's really kind of a hybrid, really. Where it's hybrid.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Whatever makes sense at the time, I guess.
Okay.
If we see a property that's outside of Lifestyles that was on MLS and it makes sense, we'll jump on.
Oh, and we teach you, go for wherever. Source your
Absolutely.
properties in as many locations as you can, from as many sources as you can. Now, one thing though, because they were of that middle class mindset, the Dave Ramsey thing, and they've come such a long way, but sometimes we have to rein them in and say, start with the financing. You've got too much equity in here. You need to get richer faster.
Mm-hmm.
Stop with all the equity and the trying to pay it down and have too much in it. Yep. So there's still lessons to be learned.
Absolutely.
Habits are hard to break, but the thing is, get started. We'll work on the rest.
Very powerful thing I tell all members, once a year, whatever, get with your mentor. Let's have a spot check where we're at, because sometimes we stop growing. You really need that talk with a mentor, a neutral person.
Okay. You got one more question, right?
Yeah, one more question. Are you guys planning to move into multifamily in the future?
We're currently passive multifamily investors, and
How many apartment deals you guys in right now?
Currently 4.
So we're already in 4 apartments, just so you know.
6. We had 6, 2 sold.
Okay.
And that helped us bankroll our rehabs.
Okay.
Also, we love multifamily for not having to do anything.
Hmm.
So our good friend Robert Tinning, who's a multifamily, he says that being a multifamily lead is like trading one boss for 380. And I don't know if it's for us. But we love the passive multifamily investing.
Yeah, so what they're saying for the new people that don't understand, they don't want to be the person putting the deal together and dealing with all those people, doing all that work. They just want to get a check and not do anything. Does that make sense? So that's their way of investing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys giving back.